Okay, so in the previous tutorial we implemented these character classes, but we just used animations like this, just manual placement of a specific animation. But this is not the correct way or not the optimal way we can control our animations. So we have to create a separate class to handle these sort of animation. So we can do that by going to our characters, and over here I will create a folder called animations. Okay, and there I don't need the folder. Maybe I'll create an animation blueprint which inherit this base character skeleton. So let's name it as MVP character base. I'll open that out, and let's create a state machine. Let's name it as locomotion, and here I can add a blend space. So let's create an anim blend space based on this skeleton. I'll name this as BS idle walk cycles. Yep. So I think even if I used 2D blend space, the animations that I have is just focusing on one direction. But maybe you can improve these animations for the XY both directions, which give you much more realistic animations for your characters. But for now I think this thing would be fine. So I can maybe specify the horizontal axis as direction, and minimum axis value should be minus 90 to 90, and vertical axis I'll name this as speed, and the maximum speed is just 200, and by default it is idle animation for all the directions. But for walk animation you can add it like that. You can see animations are played, but here I'm not adding any sort of directional movements because I have very limited amount of animations. But you can improve this animation base that will have sort of 4-way or 8-way locomotion system. But I think for now this animation scheme would be more than enough, because we are going to create a strategy game. Most of the time we will not notice a very small animation transitions for our characters, because they will be very little. They will be visible on the map as very little components, so those sort of animations won't be much noticeable. But if you want, you can add these animations. You can improve this animation graph as well. Not the animation graph, the blend space. Okay, so let's go to our an MVP, and let's set a new state. called maybe idle walk, and let's assign this thing. Okay, so now you can see the direction and speed is parameterized, so we need to feed those stuff to this specific lens space. Then based on the input values, it will return the specific animation. Okay, so let's go to the update animation and let's cast to character. Okay, and let's get the velocity, and we just need its vector length, which signifies its magnitude, and let's promote it to a variable called speed. Okay, and for the direction, I think we can calculate direction like this and get that rotation, assign it to here and promote the value as a variable called direction. Okay, then let's go to the idle walk again and let's plug direction variable over here and speed variable over here, and let's compile. Okay, now you can see automatically it will start with this idle animation level, because initially we have a direction which is 0 and the speed also 0. Okay, I think that's all we have to do, and let's go to the BP character base, and instead of using a specific animation asset, let's use animation blueprint, and it would be an MBP character base. And let's compile, say it again, let's go to the test map, and yeah, why all of this stuff, all of these characters are in above the ground. Maybe let's take a look at, okay, maybe we can all these characters little bit jump, but again these are just for the dummy objects that we have been created, just to showcase or just to play test our object instances. Okay, now I can play it. Okay, the animations are working correctly, and now it's not using a specific animation. Instead of that, now we are using animation blueprint. So what's the benefit of having animation blueprint? Basically we can manipulate our character variables such as speed and direction, and play the necessary animation based on that specific scenario. Yeah, I think that's the goal of this tutorial, and in the future tutorial I think we can start with worker AI behaviors, like they are moving in the map, or maybe they are looking for for resources, maybe they are harvesting those stuff like that. Yeah, so we will start working with our work AI maybe in future tutorials, but I think we need to create our resource blueprints as well, such as trees and stones and stuff like that. And probably after that we will look into our AI features as well. Okay, so I think that's all, and we'll see you in the next video.